This joke said, Mike lost connection.
Who is Mike?
The
Oh
mic.
no, you're Mike. This is being recorded.
It's a podcast, it's a video, and more.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of
We grown.
Question mark.
I'm Jess.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Sean.
And first things first, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe because
That
we know we saved that for the end, but we're going to start at the beginning because you already here. You might as well. You already here. Okay? Right.
yes, do that, do that.
And next thing's next.
Second
Next
thing,
is next.
second.
What had you feeling grown?
All right. So I have been trying to get my bathroom redone. So we have a house. I think we already mentioned this, and it's an older house, but good bones, But there's still some things we gotta upgrade as we're here. And the next thing on my list was my bathroom in our master bathroom. And we got all of these quotes, and I was just like, these numbers are not making any sense. Like they want to charge me $500 for a faucet. A faucet? Are you crazy? $500 for a faucet? I can get one at Home Depot for like 100 max, and that's a good one. Like, please be serious. And so I was just like, I kind of was getting defeated because the quotes just kept going up. Like, we just kept going up. And then we finally found somebody who was reasonable, and I was like, I'm not really sure about him. And we did a couple more after him. And I was like, actually, I'm very sure now. Let's just go back. Let's just go back. Because he basically was like, yeah, I mean, they're charging you for the material, but they're upcharging like 3 times the amount that it costs
Oh
for
wow.
material.
Yeah.
And he's basically just charging you the price that you would pay if you went to buy the material yourself. And then he's charging you for labor because for most of these quotes, the labor is not that much. The labor is reasonable, but the price of your material, like I will buy it myself and you could just put it in if that's what it's gonna be. But
Finder's
yeah,
fee.
I find it myself. I will find it myself. It's not that deep. But I appreciate him because he kind of just was like, well, here's the links. And he's buying it from Home Depot and he's showing us, so he showed us like different options, and I'm like, oh, it's Home Depot, I can search myself. So I started searching for things that I like so that he could see, and then he actually still would go back and be like, oh, I know you said you want this one, but this one is a little cheaper. And I'm like, you see, we might be making
Okay.
a good decision this time because we have had, I feel like it's just hit or miss with our contractors. And if he's actually good at the end of this project, I might be keeping him. So yeah, I'm
What kind
hoping.
of, does he only do like bathrooms or does he do?
No, he does everything. So he just finished doing a full basement remodel for someone. Okay. I don't know if I should say this on the internet. We'll say it after he's done. Because then
Okay,
I'll say
because
whether or not.
I'm asking because I want to get my pantry done. Um, so right now the way it's, I mean, it's like wire racks and everything, but I feel like I want shelves
Yeah.
and like the what is it called? I don't even know.
Like the drawer.
Cabinet. Yeah. Like I want
Mm.
those in there as well. Just I feel like it would make it look a little nicer. And then it'll be easier for us to put stuff away because at this point we just like stacking. Like
Yeah.
it's the stuff. I mean, y'all been in there. Well, yeah, shoot, y'all know it
I be
better than I
finding what
do.
I need in there. Shoot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sure, I know. Like, oh, I do have a question though. I guess it will be more so because Moyo mentioned it and she mentioned it earlier, and then it was in my head then. I guess it's for Jess. Jess, do you say master bedroom or do you say owner bedroom?
I do not say no damn owner.
Okay. I definitely say owner suite.
That's a new thing because we
It
all
is
got
new
divorced.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because whenever I don't like, whenever we had because we get in the house built and then like I mean everybody that was working on the house for the most part, they white. Like the project manager and he's like, so the master bedroom? I was like, I don't like it. Sound like you said it. It's like call it the owner suite.
No, I still
Yeah.
say master. I mean, that's all I've really known. So to switch it, eh,
I'd be
it's
thinking about it.
not hurting me that much right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
I also I feel like I also live in a black neighborhood. You live in a mixed neighborhood. Y'all gotta be on top of stuff.
I mean,
Like,
people still say it, and I always think about it like owner.
yeah, I think it's your community.
a
Hmm.
master is the owner still.
But
That's
I mean,
true.
I mean, because
Owner, owner
I
of
feel
what?
like in tech they even started to, or they attempted, maybe I don't know. I feel like attempted to start changing the names of stuff just because of
Mm.
like blacklist and whitelist and stuff, things like that.
What is it now?
I don't know,
Oh.
but I think
So
it's
I'm
more
not.
so like the history of it. Um,
Um, I guess. I
yeah,
mean, I guess make your progress where you can make it, but that ain't gonna change my life as a black person. Sorry, like.
it was just a question, just something I was
But no,
wondering.
that's fair. That's fair. I know
Yeah.
I've heard people say it, and like I think when we went to like talk about one of the houses in the area before, we decided not to. Um, the lady was like saying like owner, and it just didn't really dawn on me. I just like I guess. And while we're doing the tour, we're like the master bedroom, and she's like, yeah, the owner suite. I'm like, yeah, that thing.
That I mean, I get because I try to be so like maybe it's just because I don't know since I'm managing now, I try to be so conscious of like the stuff that I say, because
That's
even
fair.
when I talk to people and they're like, oh, like I try never to say like I try not to say boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that. Like I just be like dating partner.
Yeah,
Like it was like I won't make no assumptions. I won't offend nobody. Y'all do y'all. And I don't know. It's just always in the back of my head. I mean, well, and
that's
also I
fair.
guess there's even like with adoption, there's like terminologies that we use that are more pro adoption. I mean, it's I guess it's more kind, gentler
Hmm.
word to use.
That's fair.
Um, yeah,
I get it in that context when it comes to directly relating to people and relationships, but like inanimate objects and spaces, I'm just kind of like it's dealer's choice unless it's like a very offensive, like rooted in oppression kind of
yeah.
word.
Well,
Like
even
master,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I can't remember the name. I can't remember the word. Oh no no no. Like jerry rigging. That is that is a bad word because it's
Okay.
actually not Jerry. It's
Oh,
actually another word. And so that word specifically is like rooted in very racist background. So like yeah, we I would prefer not to say jerry rigging, stuff like
yeah.
that. Like but only a certain number of people probably know that though too. So I
Yeah.
think it just kind of depends, but I know when it comes to like again when it comes to like people directly relating to people or relationships and stuff like that, like I try to be more mindful, but if it's like I said like something inanimate,
Yeah.
I'm less
I
likely
mean,
to
so
be.
like one that I struggle with, but I'm still conscious of it, is saying locks versus dreads.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, dang, I'd be like, oh, they got dreads, locks. They have locks. I'm like, get it together, get it together. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just always in the back of my head.
That's fair. I do be feeling some kind of way when non-black people be like, they have dreads, and I'm like, stop, stop. They don't have dreads. They have locks. Locks. I've actually done that in conversations with people. Like, oh yeah, I have noticed their locks. I
Yeah,
love their locks, and then usually they'll catch on. But again, relating to that person.
yeah, yeah. Just sorry to segue that.
You're good. I mean, that's how we always drag out these what had us feeling grown to give us half, you know?
For
That's
real.
true.
Yeah.
um, that was the end of mine, I think. I will come back hopefully in a couple weeks
Yeah,
because they
let us know because
couple
I'm trying to match.
Yes.
I
yeah.
We're
have
invested.
somebody I went to elementary school does contracting work as well. But I also have been like can I go to IKEA and buy this stuff and do it myself too? Because I was like, I can, but I'm like, do I want to? I'm like,
I've been
Yeah.
getting fed a lot of DIY, and they've been doing a lot of pantry ones. Um, we did a little bootleg one in the meantime with this lady did a dollar store. You get the cardboard, you wrap it in the shelving stuff. We did that, and it looks good. But I'm like, eventually we gonna have to do the real thing. But for right now, it's like this suffices for
yeah,
until we get down to the kitchen and we remodel the kitchen. This is all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
been getting
but
served
it,
a lot of that stuff.
yeah, I think it's not difficult. It's just time consuming.
Yeah, because I'm like, do I want to do that?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
all them
It-
tools.
that's true. But it's like, it's just the time.
You can
And
get
then
half
I'm like,
stuff cut at the like at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. If you measure it, take it to them. They'll cut your pieces for you, and then you just got to put it together.
yeah, but
You don't want
yeah,
to. You got a baby. I understand.
Also that.
yeah. I'm like, well, and then I was like, how I'm supposed to get to the top? Like
A
on a
ladder.
ladder?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna do this. So when I'm doing it, I got to do it probably when John and Kendall are at work and daycare. So then I was like, who about to be holding me on this ladder?
They got some ladders that have the safety feature.
Not
I
me.
could hold you on the ladder. You want me to help
You
you?
got neighbors?
That
They
too.
working.
I take a ditch day.
True.
We can
Mm,
work from home from Sean's home.
that's wild.
I said
Be
ditch day.
supervised.
That's a wild statement. Oh, do I have a code red? Anyways, I
What is
got a
a
text
code
message.
red?
Huh?
What is a code red?
When I'm off of work. But
Mm.
anyway, so I have a what had me feeling grown, and it segues, not segues, it is connected to a what had we feeling grown before. Okay, so I have a meeting with somebody at work, one of my participants, and he's like, "Oh," he was like, is something wrong?" I was like, "What? No, why?" He's like, you're dressed up," and I was like, "I got a polo on. I got a polo on." And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't look like a polo. Like you look real dressed up." I was like, "My polo is from Sam's Club," and he was like,
I was about to say, got that Costco special.
he said, "Sam's Club sells clothes." I was like, and I was
We did
like,
get a
not.
lot of comments on that reel on TikTok. I was like, okay, I see.
I said, not like confirming that whole conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, so then like the guy beside me, he rolls over into the camera like he not even dressed up though. And I was like, I'm not. So I was just like, he was like, I think he's coming for you, Sean. And I was like, I feel like he is. So then I felt like that whole meeting, I was just coming back at him like, you really came for me.
Always tit for tat.
Mhm.
Maybe. Maybe. So yeah, that it was just as soon as he said it, I was like, my daggone podcast. And I mentioned it. I was like, we talked about this on the podcast. He was like, you have a podcast? You know this if you watch my podcast. That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I guess I could go with what I did this weekend that had me feeling grown. House repairs myself. I put up these closet doors. Um, I had to like redo the track. Um, like the track at the top, I had to redo that. And then like I ended up having to pull out my power tools that I bought like 2 years ago, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be Miss DIY. And it's one thing to watch the YouTube videos and or know how to use something, and it's another thing to actually like dedicate time to do it. And so one of the door on this side,
Proving his point. Don't say that. She
no,
was
and that's
fulfilled
why.
after it all.
That is really why I get it. I get because it took me so long on Saturday to install these doors the way I needed them to be installed. Because one door was always like higher than the other, and then the other one wouldn't close all the way. And part of it was because I had to cut part of the baseboards off so that the door could lay flush when you close it, or no, when you open it. And so I'm like, not me having to use the power tools to cut into the wall to get this to lay flat. And I'm like, this is a lot. Like, is this what grown-ups do? Like, you just be
And this is
tearing up your
exactly
house?
why I'm like, I'm about to pay somebody because
Bruh.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I'm
And I
heavy
had
on
to
the
drill the
pace
holes
now.
in the door. I had to drill holes in the door for the knobs. I'm like, this is
See, that is one thing. I got a whole bunch of handles. I I also don't want to do that. I just want to give them to the person and be like, "Can you do this?"
no for real. Because drilling the holes without having the right drill, because apparently the drill I had bought 2 years ago doesn't work. So I emailed the people like, at
Not
first I
you,
was like, oh, I
God.
just listen. I was like, is it still within warranty? That's really what had me feeling going. Because I'm like, is it still within warranty? If it is, email. I would like a replacement. And
So
these
that's the
people
first time you used it in 2 years.
yes, but does it matter?
She just be buying stuff. It's a problem.
No, but see, that's the thing. I buy the stuff and then I be needing it. And then when
Two
I
Skirtle.
years
have it,
later, you could have bought it before this project, and it would have been
I was
fresh.
pregnant last year. I was pregnant last
That
year,
is
so
not a good excuse.
I couldn't use spurts.
They still was sitting in the closet collecting dust for a year.
Before that,
I did use the multi-tool. I used that. I used one of my tools out of there.
Sean's face. Oh Lord.
I have a handsaw, like the little handsaw tool. I had the drill, and I had the what is the driver and the multi-tool. And I only use the multi-tool out of that. Oh, and a light. I used a light
I bet.
this weekend.
Just this weekend.
Yeah. But
You
yeah,
know,
I
I've been saying this all day. You know that meme with Lisa and Marge Simpson where Marge walks up to Lisa like, I'm gonna need you to log out.
yeah,
Ins-
man.
inserts
But
me.
That's my favorite meme. Oh, honey, you need to log out. Mm,
but after got the doors installed and the knobs on the door, I went
good job.
ahead and I moved to the front door and I used my tools for the front door.
Okay, had it down then.
I did. I was replacing the little what do you call it? Like the door sweep
Weather.
and the weather stripping. And I spackled a hole in the wall over here after I took off like some electrical stuff. I'm out here, little Miss Bobina the Builder.
Bobisha.
I'm dead. Oh, did I ever? Yeah, I probably never saw it. So when our pipes broke because we didn't winterize correctly, um,
Uh-uh. Say that over. You don't mean you didn't winterize correctly. You winterized as they told you, and it
oh
didn't
no,
work.
it that is what happened actually because
This
I
man.
followed the instructions that they gave, and
Yeah,
they gave wrong
clarify.
instructions. Thank you, because literally everyone on our street had the same thing happen. And everybody was like, "Did y'all follow their instructions?" Yes, every single person. But besides the point, so there were like the guy came in, he cut a hole in our ceiling, and we just had a hole in our ceiling. And I was like, I'm gonna fix this. I can do stuff like this. That's what I do. I'm a boss. Like I can do stuff like that. So I got up on my little step stool and I went in and I was like, I'm gonna spackle this joint up. Like, let me do this. I thought I did. It was trash. It looked so bad. So bad. Um so then when the guys came in and they were doing the nail pops, they were like, "Oh, what happened here? Like this is a mess." like, I hope you didn't pay somebody to do this. And I was like, no. So he fixed it. And I was like,
How big was the hole?
it was big. It was big.
Did
I
you
feel
sand it
like
and stuff? No. Okay.
I
You're
was
supposed
also
to
gonna say
sand it and paint it.
No,
you're
so
also
I tried.
supposed to mud it if it's a big hole. I think
Okay,
you need
so
to do mud, not
I tried
spackle.
to I tried to cut it, right? But I didn't have the material, so I was trying to use a piece that I had, like, and it wasn't big enough. So I was trying to keep adding, like, I'm gonna add this plaster here. So then it wouldn't fit. So I got a piece of wood like that was long, and I like kind of stuck it in there so that, and then I like glued it to the piece so that it would stay. I wanted my piece of. They didn't give me my piece of wood back.
Boy.
I don't
Hmm.
think you need it. That was
It's
his
probably still
payment.
up there.
Find it next time.
No, we ain't having no next time because I got a different video now doing it right.
That's what they be saying about these new houses. You got to be real careful with the new houses. We have never winterized nothing. My dad's house, we ain't never winterized, and nothing ever bursts, breaks. It just works.
Yeah, the stuff be
This,
different. Like the material, like
yes.
the metal that they use. They'd be like, "Oh, it's copper," and we be getting plastic. Like,
This house older than all of us, and we do and do not winterize, and it don't be making no difference every year.
Yeah, it's the new houses. You got to be treat them nice.
yeah,
You gotta gentle parent these new houses.
Pretty much.
he really
Can't be
did.
yelling at them.
Because they will yell right back.
So, oh, you wanna? Okay, got you. Got it.
Hmm.
I'm about to act up right now.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right.
So
Is that the end of our What Had Us Feeling Grown?
I feel like it
I
is.
think it is.
So, our next segment, we're going to do Kids Corner.
I got
Woo!
You got one?
one. I do.
Go ahead.
So recently, so Kendall, like me and Kendall, we be like this. You know, we be singing to each other. She be singing back. I be singing. She talks to me. I talk back. It be like that. This past week, Kendall has wanted absolutely nothing to do with me whatsoever. Like, I'd be like, come to daddy. She look at me. She go right to John like, hmm. And I'm like, so then like, I'll take her and she be like, and I'm like, take your baby. Like, take your daughter. I don't want her. But she refused
Is it
to
because of
go.
your changed schedule?
Probably because I don't drop her off now
Mm,
and pick her up.
She got
Today
she
was
got
okay.
that joyous spirit.
Like,
yes.
but I was like, what is going on? Like, she wasn't coming to me or nothing. And I was like, girl,
Yeah, she
She's like,
mad at you.
you ain't been here. You ain't been here to drop me off. You ain't been here to pick me up. Yeah, she mad at you. She
Like,
holding on to it too.
she over here like, what other kids you got? I thought I was
like,
the priority.
I was just like, what is that? But like, the way she would be like, hmm, and then hug John, I was like, not hugging. Like, so then I go to the other side, like, me, and she'd be like, no, no.
Make sure you know.
She surely
Yeah.
did it, no. But it's fine.
How did you
Later.
make it up to her?
I picked her up today and dropped her off. We was good. But John did come home and she was like, she got all excited, ran to him. And I was like, she used to run to me.
You're not getting that bonding time anymore.
But it was okay because then she ran back to me. So I was like, it's fine.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm told they have parental preferences every so often, so just
I
kind
was
of have
like,
to ride it out.
what is this? Come back.
Bruh. We be going through it during the day. Viviana, well, she used to not want like anybody but her dad. Well, I won't say anybody. She'll come to me sometime, but if she saw him, she's like, "Oh, that's my man. Like I gotta be over there. Like we together. We I gotta be with him." And then at night, she's like, "Who are you? Unhand me, sir." Like she cuts up and like I'll be in the bathroom brushing my teeth, in the bathroom, like getting ready to go to bed, and she will be losing her mind. I have to like peek out the bathroom every couple of minutes. So she's like, oh, okay, you coming. Okay, you coming to bed, right? I'm like, yes, yes, I will be at the room. I will come to get you. And then she'll settle down as soon as I hold her. She's like, okay, now I can go to sleep. Like, girl, he was right there, ready to put you down, ready to lay you down. No. But now the new thing is I don't know, I think it's a breastfeeding mom thing. Like she has to like claw at my shirt or like she'll just put her head in my chest to let me know like she wants milk. And I'm like, this I don't know how I feel about this in public. Like she's getting too strong now. Where if she pulls at my shirt, she gonna pull hard enough and get what she want. And I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable like just whipping my titty out uncovered in public. Like,
Do
I
people
don't
do
know.
it covered in public?
Yes, some people do. And like I welcome people to do it. But me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like in my house, I'm like, if you in my house, you're gonna see my titty. It's just because it's my house. But in public, I'm like, this is not my house. So I don't want to just be whipping out my titty. Even though it's for my baby. But I feel like if she was in extreme distress, I'd be like, okay, yeah, y'all just gonna have to see the nipple. But I don't know. I think it's something I have to work through myself in the meantime, in this little window of how much longer she has to breastfeed, because I don't know how we're gonna stop. I don't know how we're gonna wean her off of it, because that girl be like, you got's what I want, and I know you got it. Give me. I'm like, girl, please, my clothes, please be gentle. But yeah,
Aren't in
it's
public that much though, so
not that much. But I feel like so the last time she did it in public, we went to dinner with my old boss, who's a man, and so it's just like a little awkward that we're like having a conversation, and she just like, I'm just like, okay, girl, like we brought bottles, like we literally just fed you before we got here, so you wouldn't be hungry, but okay. But I think she also searches for like the comfort too. I think it's also a comfort thing for her because even like in the middle of the night, like at like 6 a.m. or 4 a.m., if she won't take her pacifier, that's going to be the only thing that calms her down. So I think it's a comfort thing too. But
It's, it's 6 a.m. the middle of the night for you? Because
when y'all going to bed at 11 and 10:30, yes, 6 a.m. is the middle of the night.
I'm up.
yeah. I be up too. Sean be sending Instagram. I'm like, dang boy, brush your teeth first.
I already did. I'd be like, we start the day.
Nah, I'd be like, come on, give me 2 more hours. 2 more hours.
But
But
that is, I feel like I don't, I mean, I'm sure I've seen someone breastfeeding, like,
yeah,
with just the titty out. But I feel like usually I see somebody throwing, I don't know, like a scarf on or something. Well, no, I
yeah,
definitely have seen it because I'd be like, don't look. Don't look. I'd be like, is it still happening? Like, don't look. Give
yeah,
them their privacy. They might be sitting on this bench right outside or whatever store I'm at, but
yeah. And like, I feel like I read a lot of like Threads has been sending me a lot of like mom content and like mom threads, and one of them was like the mom she was saying her child was like in the extreme distress and they were in the grocery store and she kind of like had to like duck in between some aisles to like breastfeed her child so that they would calm down, and this old lady comes up to her and is like, the formula is over there, and she's just like, what? Like, why do people feel like they can just say stuff like that to me? And I'm like,
It's America. It's an American thing because
It is.
Nigeria ain't nobody cover nothing to feed anybody, no matter where you are. They just pull out
fair.
the breast and they feed the baby. They have 2 year olds walking up, pull that joint out and just eat. Like nobody cares. But everything in America is just over sexualized, so you can't.
Yeah,
That's
very
really what it
true.
is. That's really what it is. And that
Yeah,
I feel like that's why I feel uncomfortable is because I'm just like, I don't need no creep staring at me, just like mind your
yeah,
business. I'm trying to feed my child. Like
yeah. I feel like in America, somebody could just videotape you doing it and make it a thing, or post it on the internet. Like you just don't know out here.
Yeah.
that too, yeah, yeah. So it's just like I said, in my home, I really don't care, but out in public, I'm just like, mm, mm, mm. Yeah. But let us know in the comments, breastfeeding mamas.
Yeah.
Would
And
you
not
breastfeed in
breastfeeding mama.
public? And not breastfeeding mamas, but sorry, I don't really think I'm gonna hold y'all opinions heavily as I would another breastfeeding mama.
It depends if you mean currently breastfeeding or previously breastfeeding, or would you, as a woman, do it?
But that's the thing. I feel like you either had to be in it or previously in it to really get it. Like, because I feel like me pre-baby probably wouldn't have cared. Yeah, maybe wouldn't have cared. But now me post-baby, I'm just like, give me and my child my privacy. Like, respect our space. I don't need you ogling us just because we're doing what something that's very natural kind of thing.
Mm.
I don't know. I love that moms do it in public. Personally, I feel like you taking care of your child, you doing what needs to be done. Like that's what matters.
Hmm.
And like if you asked, if you were in my house or in my car or wherever, of course I'm gonna be like, do what you gotta do for your child. We don't care. Like if you need to whip it out, do that. If you need something to cover up, I'll find something. If you need me to stand in front of you, I'll do that. But don't try to delay it or do your child a disservice, I guess, by trying not to by trying to appease like social norms.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I always keep a cover on me. So yeah, that's my kids' corner.
All right, kids corner for me. Let me think. Okay, for my son, today he has been falling a lot. Like, and my husband is just like, he's a boy, he's all right. So the first time he fell, he's eating breakfast, supposed to be, and he just falls out the chair. And I'm like, bro, like, what is happening? Why are you falling out of the chair? And then he's running down the steps, and he like, because my office is at the bottom of the staircase, and he jumps into the office and falls like on his face. And I'm like, this is the second time today. What is wrong with you? I be getting so mad when they hurt themselves. I'm like, please watch what you're doing. Then at dinner, he's running to the trash can to throw his food away and falls. I'm like, I have grippy socks for you. You wear grippy socks. What's the problem? So I don't know if I need to get him checked because I'm like tired of it. But my husband is like, he's okay, like he's not hurt, and I'm like, I get that, but I don't want him to keep falling. He
Maybe
keep doing stuff.
is he growing?
I don't know. Maybe he's always growing. Aren't they always growing?
Like a growth spurt.
It could be. Does that make them fall more?
Yeah,
Like, does
because
he not know what his feet are or something?
I mean, when you have a growth spurt and then you're like your limbs are slightly longer, so you're not used to like you might have to pick your feet up more or whatever.
Hmm. I don't know, but he was falling a lot today, and I was just like, I can't do this. It's too much. But that could make sense because I just got him new shoes because his feet were getting big. Like him and his sister are wearing the same size shoes right now,
Yeah.
Mm,
so
little
maybe his
growth
feet
spurt.
are, yeah, feet are getting big, and his pants were getting a little short. So it could be that. It's just annoying. I'm
I
just
only
like,
asked because I was like, oh, his birthday's coming up. I was like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. He about to be 4.
Your
He
kids
was
getting
just
old,
young,
man.
bruh. And it's funny because like Joyous will be like, so if we say like when you get older, you can do X, Y, and Z. She'll be like, okay, so when I'm 8 and Hezzy's 7, right? And I'm like, I don't know what's gonna be the thing. Like, or she'll be like, or when I'm 8 and he's 6. Like she knows the math of their age, so she knows that it'll always be 1 or 2 years off. So she tries to bargain stuff like, okay, if this is my age, then he can be this age, and then we can do it, right? So it's
That's
like,
funny.
okay, hopefully you don't remember any of this, but the way that
She
girl
gonna
said it,
remember.
yeah, because her
She
daddy
gonna.
told her he was supposed to get them a fish. And so I start looking up fish because I'm like, they have been telling me you told them you were going to buy them a fish. So let me look up a fish for them. Because I don't like people telling my kids they're going to do something and don't do it. And he's like, I didn't tell them they could have a fish. I said when they get older, they could have a fish. They could get fish. And I was like, oh, that is not what they told me. They have been telling me that you said they could get a fish. He's like, that's not what I said. And then Joyce is like, what is older? When I'm 7 or when I'm 8 and Hezzy's 7? He's like, I don't know. You might be more responsible by then, but you got to take care of your fish. And then I told her that, okay, if you get a fish, that means you can't go to hotels no more. I was like, you can't go to hotels no more because that baby love a hotel. She love a let's not be at home. And she's like, wait, why not? And I said, because who's gonna take care of your fish while you're away? And she's like, why can't we just bring the fish with us? I was like, because hotels don't do pets. And she's like, oh. She's like, are you saying this because you said so? Because you like to say because you said so. And I'm like, it's not because I said so. I just explained to you that hotels don't do pets. Like I didn't say hotels only don't do fish. They don't do pets. Like, but she always got something to say.
That's
She always
funny.
got something to say.
Not her being used to the because I said
Listen. She's like,
I
I
don't
know
even
the
say it that
pattern.
much. I just said it. Yes, was that today?
today.
I just said it
Oh,
today.
I wasn't gonna mention it, but
You can mention it. I just said it today. That was the first time I think I've said it because I usually explain stuff to her, and that's why she know too much. So today I was like, because I said so, like just leave it alone. Because normally she go back and forth with me if I explain stuff. So I'm like, let's just shut it down quickly today. But apparently she held on to that one and came back later at dinner and be like, you be saying because I said so. Hey, I said it one time.
That is your child. Verbatim. Cause Moy will be real quick and be like, you always. I'm like, dang, all?
No, she do always. She'd be like, "Oh, I never get to do this." Okay, but you did it yesterday. And then her comeback is usually, "Well, I always not today." Like, that's not how that works. You can't say always and it be just today. I never did it today. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. Today is not the day.
I never did it today.
She never did a lot of stuff that she gets to do pretty much every day, except the
Smart
one day you
girl.
tell her not to do it.
Smart girl.
Oh, but my actual one for her was supposed to be she has all these extra teeth. And we're going to the dentist on Friday, so hopefully I'll have an update because I don't know
Extra
why.
feet?
Yes, she
Mhm.
has extra teeth. She has like one behind her set of teeth, and like they just appeared out of nowhere. And then she has one all the way in the back that looks like a wisdom tooth. Like, and I'm like, what? And I counted her teeth because I remember the dentist told me how many teeth. Like, she's supposed to have 10 at the bottom and 10 at the top. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that tooth was already there. So I counted them again. And I'm like, no, that's 11 back with if you count that one, and then 12 if you count the like it's one like right in the front of her tooth, or not in the front. It's like in the back, like behind the teeth. So you can't see it unless she opens her mouth. So I was helping her brush her teeth, and I'm like, what is this? It's a tooth. And then I don't remember why I was looking all the way in the back. I don't remember what I think I was still brushing her teeth and she kept saying ow. And I'm like, why are you saying ow? like I'm trying to get to your back teeth, and she's like, well, you keep hitting my. I think I was hitting her like your gums in the back, and I'm like,
Mm.
well, I'm just trying to get all the way to the back, and I say open wide, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is there a tooth growing right here, and it's not all the way out yet, it's like still growing in.
Mm.
So I'll
So she
find out.
feeling it.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll find out on Friday if that is normal. I don't think it's normal, but I have extra teeth too. I just didn't have them as a 5-year old. So I'm not sure.
How many teeth
Mm.
are we supposed to have?
Adults have a different number, but babies, like as a baby, before you lose all your teeth, you
Yeah,
have to.
because we have like an extra set of molars, right?
I don't know. I gotta ask Google because I only know because the dentist specifically told me that, oh,
Yeah,
she has all of her teeth, 10 at the bottom, 10 at the top. I was like, okay.
I think we
So,
have,
32 permanent teeth.
but four of those are wisdom, right?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
12 molars, including 4 wisdom teeth.
we gonna
So
find out.
two sets of wisdom teeth in the back.
Yeah,
Remind me to
Or
give
is
her.
it no, or is it one, 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 four?
that was an interesting way to count that, but yes.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
But yeah, remind me next time to give an update on the
Yeah,
tea.
yeah, please do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of updates to give in the next coming weeks.
The teething is wild. It is not it at all.
Yeah. I'm surprised
Yep.
she didn't notice though. Like she didn't notice that they were growing. Maybe because she's older, she doesn't feel it growing in. I don't know.
Mm.
Or maybe she did and she was cranky and you just ain't know.
She always got an attitude, so it could be true. Could be true.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I had well, I say I had a question, but John and I were talking the earlier, and he had a question, and I was like, "That's a good question for me to ask on the podcast." So the question is, when you got married and changed your last name, did you feel like you lost a piece of your identity?
She said, and changed your last name. Did everybody change their last name?
Not change my last name. It's on a list of things to do though.
How long you been married?
As long as them tools been in the club.
No, I've been married longer than them tools have been here. Hmm. Hmm. But yeah, we got married 2021, so almost 4 years this year. It'll get done. Maybe by or after 5.
She'll do it before
Mhm.
the kid goes to school. That way, all of y'all can have the same last name.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe that. But yeah, I feel like for me, I have an attachment to my last name. I do. Like my dad's family is pretty small, and there are not a lot of like um men that have the last name either. So like it's my dad and his brother were the only two men, and then only his brother had a son. So my cousin is the only one that has a last name that carry on the last name, and he has a son. So it's just like I just have an attachment to my last name, and like it's a unique last name, and like I guess the history behind like my family for me is why I'm just very attached to it. Like my grandmother was a very strong, um, independent, like defied, I guess like typical gender roles, if you will. Like after my grandfather passed, and he passed when my dad was like a kid, she kind of like, did what she had to do to make things work for her family. And so like she did a lot that people wouldn't have expected of a woman, back in the day and in the South. So Um, yeah, I just have like a lot of attachment to my last name. So I just feel like for me to completely erase that would feel like I'm completely erasing like that family heritage and lineage. And yeah, I just don't want to do it. And my husband's okay with that. Like, I've dated guys before where they were just kind of like, you take my last name or nothing. And I'm like, well, that's a deal breaker. Exactly. And like, I know a lot of men who are kind of like that. We're just like, oh, you gotta have my last name. My husband's like, I don't care. You can take my name or you cannot take my name. Like,
So then, do you plan on taking it or not?
I do. I do plan on taking it. I plan to hyphenate it. Like, I feel like hyphenating it is a great compromise. I want to have his last name. And, especially now that we have our daughter, like, I want to have some kind of connection to her if I, like, go up somewhere and they're just like, hey. Because as it stands right now, like, when I call for stuff, people will call him by my last name if I initiate something. So, like, for stuff for the house, when we were doing the windows and doing the doors and the floors and all of that, they were like, oh, yeah. Calling him by my last name. And I'm just like, that's not his name. But okay. And that's the thing, like, depending on who they talk to, they'll just assume that we have the same last name. And it
Hmm.
has, like, I won't say been troublesome, but it's been of note with a lot of stuff. Like, I think we had to have our marriage license for something to show that we were actually married too, for something, some document, because we don't have the same last name. So eventually, but to me, it ain't that big a deal.
Mhm.
My name is my name.
I wasn't that attached to my dad's last name. Like, I changed my name like the next day, if that. Like, we immediately changed my name because then I got a new ID. I wasn't even attached to my ID. Like, my husband is attached to his home license. I mean, not license. Yeah, driver's license. And he refuses to switch to the state we're living in. I'm like, I don't get attached that quickly to things or at all, really. Like,
His
it's just,
license still say not here.
mm,
Yes.
yes, he been living here and his license still is not here. I don't even think his address, because in order to keep getting that license, he has to keep the address of where he was from.
That's what he
So
do when he
his
go back
license
to the south.
his license don't, I mean, even if he goes back to the south, he don't want to go back there, so what difference does it make?
No, I mean when he visit his mom, that's what he do. He'd be like, "Let me go renew this license real
Let me
quick."
go up to
Pretty
that
much he
DMV.
does. He does. And right now they don't make you come in person at all, so he could
Mm.
get it mailed as well. Sometimes he'll have it mailed to her and then she'll mail it to him, or it's always, I don't understand. And he was real pressed because when we got his disabled plates, we thought he would have to switch it at that point because you're getting the benefits as a resident here. And he asked the lady, like, do I have to change my license? She was like, no, because veterans, like, you can be anywhere as a veteran. And she's like, he was like, yes, oh my goodness, yes, like, okay. But yeah, anyways, back to what I was originally talking about. I was not that pressed about my last name. I also have three brothers, so it's no like trying to carry the family name. I have a billion cousins. Like, we were just talking about cousins with my brother or with my brothers, and they were asking, like, do y'all think we have more than 50 first cousins? And I was like, probably. We probably do. Um, but yeah, from like between both sides of our family, we probably do. And that's not even counting half first cousins, like, because our parents have half siblings as well who have kids who would be our cousins, but I don't know if they're considered first cousins or not. I think they're like half cousins. I don't know, but we have enough of the regular ones. We don't even really need to count all these extra people. um but yeah, I was not attached. I switched my stuff. It was easier for me to get stuff done, like, because we were in the military. Having the same last name was, I was able to pretty much do anything. So without him being there, I could get all of the stuff that I needed to get. Because with him going back and forth on like different missions, I needed to be able to access the base, access his documentation, access the like his medical records. Sometimes if I needed to fill out forms, I could access all of that just by saying this is my name. Um, and nobody was asking for marriage certificates like that because my license showed the same name. Um, so it just made stuff easier for us, and it makes stuff easier for school. Um, yeah, but I never even really thought about keeping my last name. I switched that thing so quick.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's not like a one size fits all. I think everybody has like a different
Yeah.
rhyme or reason.
Yeah. I mean, because we talked about changing our last names. Um, I mean, before we got married, when we were getting married, and John was like, I was like, "You taking my last name?" And he was like, "For what?" And I was like, he was like, "You taking mine?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'm a Johnson." And he was like, "Well," I said, "Well," and that's how it ended up being. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was real simple. I mean, the conversation probably was had in like 45 seconds. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the answer to John is we don't know. Like it's not a women thing. It's a individual thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure
I
there's
think
even
so.
like some of the I don't know what word to use because y'all were talking about being politically correct earlier. Some of the same gender people, like some of them are changing their last names and are like or merging last names or making up whole new
Oh, we
last names.
did talk
Like
about that.
Hmm.
yeah, so I think people are doing whatever they feel like doing. I feel like I read something recently where a guy took the woman's last name because she was like set up a certain way. And he's like, I'd rather be attached to them than be attached to who I came from. Like, let me be
Yeah.
a part of their lineage.
Somebody that I went to school with took his wife's last name. He was like,
Yeah.
first of all, my last name is real long. He's like, ain't nobody trying to keep saying this. He's like, that's short. It was like Smith. He's like, that's easy. Like, I could be a Smith. Call me Mr.
Yeah.
Smith. So I was like,
Yeah.
dang, that's crazy, but not crazy, but it was just like the explanation was just like, dang, that makes sense. He's like, I'm not trying to keep typing this long thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like that was the same thing with my mom too, though. Like now that I think about it, like her family is was well known like in their hometown. And so, like, to say that they were who they were, like, it was kind of a big deal. Like, you knew, like, oh, they come from a good family, like, they're reliable, like, their dad is a great person, their mom was a great person, like, it meant something. So, like, when she got married, she hyphenated her name. And so I always had that example too of like, she hyphenated her name. It makes sense for me to hyphenate my name. So I don't know. I think I come from a family, I guess, that names mean something. Because even on my dad's side, like if one of the women had a boy, they would give him the family last name as his middle name. So you're
Mm.
still passing on the name in a way, even though it's not their last name. So I don't know. I think names mean a lot in my family.
No, I get that. I've definitely seen people with, because I'm like, oh, that's a weird middle name, and then it's like, oh wait, that's a last name. It's like, oh, that's probably the maiden name. So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
mm,
I think in our culture, like in when you write like if you passed away, your obituary is gonna have your last name and your maiden name. So you can't really get
yeah,
away from it because they're still gonna put it on there at the end of the day. Like my mom's stuff, everything had to have her maiden name because that family is not gonna let you just bury her as your people. Like, nah, you have to put that it's this and this so
yeah,
that families get recognition, I guess.
makes sense.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good question, John.
Hmm. Shout out to you,
Thank you,
our
John,
right,
giving us
our
a
we grown
topic for the
producer.
John got to come back, man. You know he's the favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a fan favorite.
Hmm.
I tell him.
It's
I tell him all the time. Show up. Show
Yeah.
up and show out.
the
Yeah, we
Okay.
got
favorite
back.
guest star.
Oh, that actually reminds me of we were talking about getting some moms on to try to wrap up this series. Like we were originally talking about birth and pregnancy and motherhood and fatherhood and parenthood. Um, so if you are a mom, I feel like we could do aspiring moms as well. Like have people who potentially want to be moms to come on and ask questions. Because when I asked Jasmine to send us questions, she had so many questions, and she was like, "I would like y'all to talk about this, and I would like y'all to talk about that, and I would like y'all." And I'm like, "I'll take a few." Like I took the ones that I took, but she had some good questions, and I was like, she's asking all of this because it's not really out there, and it would be good to have somebody that's like that, that's like, hey, I want to do this, and then ask what they would want to ask. So maybe aspiring moms or aspiring parents to come on and just talk to us, like, what are your thoughts on becoming a parent, like things like that as well. um
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes we're planning to have in this season, but let's start reaching out to moms, because people don't be commenting or reaching out to us, so you're gonna have to go find them.
Yeah. I'll post about it too because I know I've gotten questions from other type 1 diabetics who were aspiring to be moms too, because it's also something that's just not publicly like understood or known. Like, okay, well, I want to have a child. Like, what do I need to do? What is it like? What is it going to be like? And all you know is like, you better keep your blood sugars in order. You better take your medicine. Oh, and it's just like,
Yeah,
but there's so much more to it. So yeah, I think any mom that's high risk or has a pre-existing condition probably has a lot of questions, and it's just not widely known. Like everybody just thinks, oh, you just get pregnant and then you're good. It's like, child, that's just the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah.
If anything, that might be the easiest part, and it's still hard. Like,
yeah,
mm-mm.
yeah. I did get an offer to get a mental health professional, so that might be a thing we could do.
On
I
here?
would love that. Yes.
Because they want to come talk about mental health, because Jess brought up like taking your meds and that kind of stuff, and so someone was like, hey, I listened to the episode and I really liked it, and I would really love if my friend could come talk to y'all so that she could talk more about mental health. And I was like, okay, we can try to
I would
make that
love
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Given the state of our nation, we gonna need to talk about some mental health.
Yeah. So I think for that one though, we need to get our questions together and figure out
Yeah,
what,
for
like,
sure.
what avenue we want to go with, because I'm sure it's a thousand things we could possibly ask her. um we got to figure out what exactly before we reach out to her, because I don't know her personally, but I do know her, one of her besties, I guess.
Okay. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us again. Make sure you like, share, subscribe,
You
do
know.
all the things.
Yeah, and if there's stuff you want us to talk about, just holla.
Yeah, we're trying to be consistent again. Like, y'all gotta help us out, so
Right.
we don't take another 1 year hiatus,
Yeah.
because we were doing good for a good minute, and then we just disappeared while we
I
had
think
kids.
we're doing well now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So until next time, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. Send us questions, send us topics. Like, interact with us. We talking to y'all. Talk back. Talk
I
back.
appreciate that comment. People comment sometimes. It's just like random.
Sporadic.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Well, keep talking if you're already talking. Keep talking. And if you haven't talked, speak up. We want to hear from you.
Yes, we do.
All right, y'all. Until next time.
Bye.
See y'all. Love y'all.
Bye.